Recently, I got accepted into the closed beta for Warhammer 40k Darktide, the latest game by Fat Shark, who is most known for creating the Vermintide series, which is set in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. And to get this right out the way, the game is incredibly fun. It is really just Vermintide, but now we have guns.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And that is perfectly fine. Vermintide is an absolutely fantastic game, and these newly added guns do not hinder the gameplay at all. They actually can flow very seamlessly into each other, going from shooting someone and then instantly switching to your melee weapon to get up close and personal. It can be very satisfying when you're going up against Nurgle's Afflicted, and they can't stand a chance against your shovel. This beta launched with 4 missions with multiple difficulties, and 4 classes with multiple different guns. And I just want this video to talk about my thoughts about the game and how it played. The classes you can choose from are the Veteran, who is the class for people who like to shoot guns, aka Red-Blooded American. If you also like to roleplay, is the Imperial Guard while you date your waifu body pillow. This is also the perfect class for you, as the reason I chose this class and play them mostly is because the Deathscorp to Krieg are one of my favorite factions. So, Fat Shark, if you're listening, which you aren't, because I'm small. Put the skin in the game. Just do it. Do it. I dare you. If it's not already in there, do it. Put it in there. Do it. Now. Next we have the Zealot, who is a more melee-focused class who gets melee buffs depending on how much damage they take, and it truly allows the player to preach about the Holy God Emperor as you fight down probably some of the most horrid things that anyone has ever seen in their entire fucking life. The Psyker is basically the magician of the 41st millennia, where instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, you try to not get tainted by the ruinous powers and kill everyone you know and love. And lastly, we have the Ogre, who will be the tank of the group, and let me tell you, he is very goddamn tanky. He will literally take hundreds of stab and bullet wounds just for the good of the Imperium, but will literally get scared anytime he's asked to climb into a transport ship because it's dark and small. Now, I have played every class except for the Psyker, mostly because by the time I was about to play the Psyker, it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was tired, and that was on October 16th, the day that the beta was going to end. So, I can assure you, all the classes are fun, and I'm just going to assume that the Psyker class is also fun. You can probably watch other people who have played the Darktide beta and have played the Psyker, and they probably will tell you if it's fun or not. Now, compared to Vermintide, we now actually have character customization, which is very nice. We are allowed to create the backstory of our character, which is what planet you're from, what your childhood was like, what your adulthood was like, and what a precious or memorable moment in your life was. After that, you can really make the character you are going to play as. You will not really see your character besides like the hub area or the cutscenes, but it's still very nice to see. But just so you're wondering, this backstory is really just the backstory. It's not like Bannerlord where you pick your backstory and that gives you stats. It's just, this is where you're from, and this is kind of how your childhood was. That's perfectly fine in every way, but after a bit, most likely what I'm going to do is kind of just brief over the backstory just so I can create my new character. On top of that, the voice acting is incredibly well. I very much did like all the different voices that you could pick for each class, and they were all done incredibly well.
Another day, another set of useless bloody orders from some useless bloody carker sitting safe in planetary orbit while I'm down here in the mud trying not to get me block knocked off.
Strange life. Not part of the not part of the Imperial Guard no more.
Life without faith is mere existence beneath the all-consuming shadow of heresy, without so much as a candle to hold that darkness at bay. It is the fate of some to pass from this life as mere kindling, whereas mine is to light the flame.
I've dreamed many dreams before, but never like this. They're normally Well, they're normally nicer, with delicious food and flowers and comforting colors. Oh, and songs to warm the heart and lighten the soul. I like songs.
In the beta, we got 4 missions, a raid, a repair, an assassination, and a strike mission. All these missions were very fun, and it really shows what we can expect from when the main game launches, as the set pieces for these maps were absolutely amazing. Giant gothic structures, completely disgusting sewers and maintenance tunnels were all crafted amazingly, and I think they did an absolutely wonderful job with the setting alone, as it is fucking amazing. Like, hands down, one of the best things I have ever seen in gaming. Now, most of these missions, kind of objective-wise, was go here, kill someone, or protect this, or take this here. That's perfectly fine. I have no problems with that. I mean, Left 4 Dead basically did that as well, and that game is absolutely phenomenal. As really, it's not about what the objective is. It's kind of how you progress and get to that objective, because sometimes shit hits the fan. Sometimes things go from, oh, this is a piece of cake, you know, it's just a couple of guys, and then it goes to, the Emperor has abandoned us. This is a lost cause. That is what makes these kinds of games so fun. It's about, you never know what's going to happen next. As for all you know, things can hit the fan. One thing I do hope that is in the full game is the Chaos Waste system that was added in Vermintide 2, as that was really fun. I played that a bit with my friend, and it was just like a roguelike kind of game mode that was in Vermintide. And I hope they do something like that in Darktide, as that was a very good and fun mode. That's kind of all I have to say. I hope they bring that back. After each level, you will gain experience and money, which you can go and buy guns and upgrade your character. I did see in the game that there were 4 different currency types, which 2 of them, I don't know what they were used for. This kind of scroll-looking currency and this box one. I'm assuming maybe these are used for different shops, as there were a few areas that looked like shops, but yeah, couldn't do anything with. It's kind of Adeptus Mechanicus looking lady, looked like a shop. It's kind of screaming shop to me. And then there was also this other person who was kind of just sitting in this kind of boxed off area, which definitely also looked like a shop. I'm assuming that these will be revealed during the full game release. The 2 currencies that I know that you can actually use them for is these gold coins, which are used to buy basic guns that you can get from the gun guy. I don't remember his name, he's gun guy. And then there's also the weekly shop, which gives you weekly challenges, and then these high-end weapons. But this is locked off until level 11. And that seems a bit late, as by the time I was level 11, I'd already put about 8 hours in the game. I did take some breaks and just kind of left the game on, but still, it seemed like a very long time. I can get locking off the high-end weapons to level 11, as you don't really want someone running around with high-end gear when they're only a couple levels in. I think maybe it'd be okay to leave the high-end levels until level 11, but challenges I don't think should. I think maybe challenges should either be unlocked from the start, or maybe unlocked until level 5, where you get your first perk point. That's just kind of how I think it should be done. Of course, they don't have to listen to me at all. And speaking of perks, it takes a similar system to Vermintide, where after every 5 levels, you get a perk point. You can put that towards a perk that you want to specialize in to increase the build you're kind of going for. And lastly, we have bugs. In a modern gaming where basically bugs that completely fucking break the game or make it unplayable or very immersive breaking is basically rampant and everywhere, Fat Shark has done the impossible, and it had barely any bugs or problems at all. In my 14 hours of playing, I only saw a few minor bugs, and it was really just in cutscenes and in the hub area, which is completely fine. That was fine, as there were just kind of animation bugs, which probably can be fixed pretty easily. And that was it. During gameplay, I saw no minor bugs or game-breaking bugs. The only thing that was the biggest problem was the server disconnecting. This was a fucking huge problem and happened every time when I was playing the game, no matter what. If I was just sitting there or if I was just doing something, the server would disconnect so much. It was really infuriating. They did say that this closed beta was kind of to help stress test the servers, so I really do hope by full release that they iron out these problems and these disconnects are very much less apparent. All in all, Darktide is looking like an absolute fantastic game. I cannot wait for its release. Of course, this isn't the final product, so there could be things that can change. Of course, expect bugs and server issues to be fixed by launch. I mean, these guys have over a month to really fix this. So I'm going to give them the best judgment that they can fix these problems by the time of the release. And yeah, sub, like, bye.
A lonely electron with nothing to do. Pairs up with a neutron for a cocktail or two. Atomic kisses, survived by a few. They had a nuclear blast. Said the electron.